Hi, Katie. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Might
Happy
be a
Wednesday.
happy Wednesday for sure. I need like 5 more Wednesdays though in
Yes.
this week,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it is reaching the peak point of most of our stuff, which is overwhelming to say the least.
hmm That's a good way to put it. Yes, quite overwhelming.
Yeah. Never realize how busy you are until you don't have a moment to breathe. You're like, oh shoot. So, all good.
There might be a small meeting this week
That's okay.
or this month.
Well, it just means everybody's gonna get really excited for next month's gigantic meeting.
Yes, the mega meeting. Are you going to be able to make it?
No, unfortunately, I have a program that we only run 3 times a year, and of course it falls on that day. I'm like, well, shoot. But it's okay. I may see if one of my colleagues will go in my stead.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
we need more people. We need a deeper bench than just me. So I'll make somebody else go.
That's funny.
I'm learning that I can do that and I don't have to just do everything myself, which I feel like I should have learned years ago, but now it's working in my favor.
That's awesome. As long as you got a core good group of people around you.
Yes, we are working on that. I
Nice.
think we have the challenge of, and I'm sure other people have experienced this as well, where we were a small kind of institution and operation for so long that we had people like double dipping in roles and cross-trained, and you have like the core group that you call upon. But now we are bigger and we need more people, and they can't play 4 roles at one time. So we're working on building up that bench because they get overwhelmed because they're very good at what they do, and that's amazing. But we need more people. We need more friends.
You gotta have more friends on the bench.
Gotta have more friends on the bench. Yeah. So we were working on it.
Cool. I hope you find good team members.
Thank you. Yes. It would be great. Alrighty.
Maybe give it maybe 2 minutes, maybe a minute. See what happens. Everybody rolling in.
Sounds good to me.
Hey Eric, are you filling in for Mike Zen today? Eric Henry. Can't hear me. Never mind. Hi, Susan.
I saw I was muted. Greetings. How are you?
Greetings, Miss Boda.
Yo, right back at you, baby.
Howdy, Susan.
Hey, George.
All sorts
right.
of fun people.
It's 3:02.
Beautiful. Let's get rolling.
Let's do it.
We got things to do. All right. So good afternoon, everybody. I almost said good morning. It has been a day. We'll get started. And my name is Katie Godwin. I serve as your vice chair for this group, but I also work at the University of Tampa running their emergency operations. And so I'd love to just go around and make sure that we know who is here and on the call. Susan, I'd love to start with you.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Susan Boda. I work for a company called Benish, and we do a lot of DOT work, and that's what got me involved in all this. So glad to be with you.
Thank you. Can we go to Larissa?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Larissa Bahia, and I am the campus president of the HCC Ybor City campus.
Oh, very cool.
Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome.
We love our Ybor City friends.
yes, we do.
I'd love to have George introduce himself.
Hey, this is George Edmiston. I'm with Benish and I'm a District 7 safety consultant. Work with Susan as well.
Thank you, George. And then Eric, were we able to get mic capability?
Yes, I'm here. Eric Henry with the FDOT District 7 Safety Office. I work with Mike and Peter and those guys. I'm not sure if Mike's getting on today or not, but he's around.
He's on. He just joined.
Good.
Yep, there he is.
Well, I guess we can move to Mike. We'll go differently alphabetical, maybe. It's okay. We'll come back to him.
You calling me? I
Yes.
found the wrong button.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm Mike Zen, Department of Transportation, your District 7's CTST program manager.
Perfect. All right, and then Kelly.
Ellie Piron with City of Tampa.
Thank you, Kelly. And is it Janice? I only see the part of your name. Last name Lawrence.
Janine, that's
Janine.
me. Hi, Janine Lawrence, program specialist with Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Thank you. I know your face. I just don't see all of your name. So
That's
sorry.
okay. It's a long name.
Perfect. Michael White.
Michael White, I'm the police corporal for the nighttime traffic and DUI unit for the City of Tampa Police.
Sweet. Very cool. And then Lori.
Hi, I'm Lori Paleo with JMT.
Sweet. Melissa.
Everybody, I'm Melissa Shepherd with JMT, and we got a chat from Julie Bond. She does not have voicing ability today, but she is there. Thank you, Julie.
Perfect. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. If we can just go through, or if you haven't had a chance to review the March minutes, we can briefly take a look at them. We'll just need 2 people to approve. Unless we find an error, in which case we can change that. And then we'll have somebody approve.
And just to let everyone know, this meeting is being recorded, and if you are not speaking, please mute your mics.
Do we have somebody who's willing to approve the minutes? Or motion to approve?
Mike White, I'll make a motion to approve.
Perfect. And we just need a secondary, please.
Ellie Piron, I'll second.
Thank you so much. All right, and then we'll jump into our problem ID and follow-up section, which is our super fun map situation. And I know most of this is UT based. But I think we will start with HCC, and I don't know if you're able to speak on the space at the Dale Mabry campus or if you're solely restricted to Ybor campus.
I am certainly more familiar with the Ybor campus, but I can certainly pass along to my colleagues at the Dale Mabry campus if there's anything specific you want me to pass along to them in terms of questions or comments or suggestions.
Absolutely.
Katie, we've got Kelly on the line today, and that was the last update that we heard was from Kelly Ferron on the Drew Park CRA study. Maybe Kelly can update that.
Yes, we did meet with the CRA, and they have already kicked off their streetscape transportation study, and we've made note that this is an important project. And I hope to have more of an update next month when they get a little further into finishing their study, but they're going through and going to prioritize crosswalk locations, including this one.
Thank you. That's a huge improvement because I know that this is largely impacting pedestrian students kind of en masse. And so the more safe we can make that space, the better. Alrighty. I think this is a USF based situation. And I don't know if we have somebody on the call who's able to speak about that. Going once. Twice. Alrighty, we'll move on. Another USF based space for their crosswalk areas. And it looks like they've been doing some work, and so I think we're just waiting out the time before that project is completed. For the first one, and then for number 4, which is something near UT's area, the challenge here is that Kennedy Boulevard is a state road, but then we're experiencing some drainage challenges that are backing up, and it seems like we're not really sure how to move forward with that, because I know that this was brought up by our energy manager. So I don't know if there's other ideas. And if not, we can just keep investigating.
Yeah. Okay, I did check with our design consultant. They were working on that part of, not in that section. Everybody thought that the construction was going to come down that far on Kennedy, but it's not.
Yes.
So I don't know what else to do with all that.
And we can investigate more on our side, and I can stick Marty on some of our partners and see what we can figure out. But yeah, it does just, and everybody experienced it when we talked about it the first time. If you drive down Kennedy with a light rainstorm, pedestrians are getting soaked. So we'll just continue to see what we can do. Oh, good. That's it. Yay.
That was it. Yep.
Woo. We've had more in the past, so I'm glad that some of those got resolved. So if we want to move into some of our updates from our law enforcement partners, anything you've got going on, trends you've seen, issues that we should be aware about, please go forward.
I think it's just me, isn't it, today?
Think so.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll run down the list. It's kind of a long one. It's been a busy last couple of weeks. I'm not sure on all of these if they're within the 1 mile radius as far as fatal crashes go. But several of them I know are. So I'll just start from the top. This one is definitely within the 1 mile radius of HCC and Ybor. This was at Causeway in 22nd Street. There's a vehicle and a pedestrian. Appears to be a homeless pedestrian. Possibly alcohol was involved as far as the pedestrian side, but we're waiting on toxicology on it. And that occurred back, well, technically it was on the 1st, but it was the night of the last day. So it was like 1 a.m. Next one before that was Waters and Ola, which is going to be really close to the USF 1 mile radius. And that was a motorcycle versus a van. The guy on the motorcycle is one of our frequent flyers. He runs from us probably on a weekly basis while giving us the finger, and we had several warrants out for him. So that problem seems to have corrected itself. Like I said, I'm not sure if that's exactly in the radius, but it's very, very close. The next two were definitely within the USF range, Fowler and 19th and Fowler and 17th. The Fowler and 19th was a father and son from Miami. They were visiting Busch Gardens and tried to run across the street on Fowler Avenue at nighttime, 9 o'clock at night, which did not work out well, and the father was killed. The child is in serious condition still at the hospital. And the other one was a bicycle and a pickup truck where the bicycle, for unknown reasons, just pulled in front of the truck. Either they didn't see him or thought he had more room and couldn't judge the distance, and that didn't work out. This one I'm pretty confident is way outside. If I remember right, Commerce and Elliott, it's way South Tampa, so I don't think it's near anything. But that was a motorcycle versus a truck as well, but I'm 99% positive that's not in the range of anybody. And then the next one was a head-on crash at Nebraska and Patterson. That's probably about midpoint, probably between USF and ACC, but I don't think it's in either one of those two radiuses. But that led to a fatality as well. The other thing that I think it was probably brought up at the last meeting, but I had him go out again for HCC and Ebor, over on Palm by the crosswalk where the lights were. We had the lights fixed and everything out there, but I have had motor units out there checking on speeders and traffic surveys, and speed does not appear to be an issue whatsoever. I think, and all the time they spent out there, he only got 2 people speeding. It was just barely over. Generally our threshold in those areas is around 7 miles an hour, 7 to 10 miles an hour over before we'll start writing tickets. And I don't think he was even able to hit that threshold. So speeding doesn't seem to be an issue over there. But again, we got with the city to get the lights for the crosswalk. They were not working correctly. That apparently has been corrected now. So hopefully that'll help and people will be slowing down when they see those lights go on. So that's all I have for that, unless anyone has any questions.
You certainly have been busy, and I wanted to make a note of that, how many of them seem to be vulnerable road users. So, and unfortunately, most of our students are vulnerable road users. So you might want to figure out some kind of messaging to get out to your students about that. It's not been a good couple of months here in our whole district for vulnerable road users. And we do have Charles Kane on here. He's our LEL currently. Charles, you have anything for us on the law enforcement end of it?
You're muted, Charles. You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, I almost missed this meeting. I just finished up another meeting about 6 minutes ago. Just got in. I am the kind of the new law enforcement liaison to this area. Janice, for those of you who know, has left this district to cover District 1. Andrew Beamer left our District 1 to become to go back into sworn law enforcement. So I was supposed to retire in January, and I am still working. They asked me to work, cover District 7 from the villages until we get everything filled, and they just hired my replacement down south. And I will be your interim LEL because I am retiring by the end of August. Maybe earlier, but the target date is by the end of August now.
Congrats on your pending retirement.
Thanks. Thanks. It'll be my third attempt at retiring.
Hope this one sticks.
Hopefully 3 times is a charm.
Other thoughts about I'm not going.
I'm sorry, one more thing I forgot to say. We are expanding our education. We've been reached out by some city schools that want to run a summer program. So we are going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to extend out. I don't know how many sessions it's going to lead to and exactly which schools, but we will be expanding our DUI education for summertime as well to make sure we're reaching some of those summer school kids, which I was a proud recipient of that because I was always in trouble. But we'll be reaching out to them to try to make it so that they're getting the message.
That sounds great.
He said he was always in trouble. Was his past tense, isn't it?
Perhaps.
Small progress. Any other law enforcement questions, thoughts, concerns? Or we can move on to bicycle things. This kind of a continued thread through some of our previous meetings. UT is working on its bicycle friendly institution designation component, and we hosted we participated. Our student activities office does a sustainable market 2 or 3 times a semester. And so we hosted a booth, really encouraging our students to register their bicycles and be aware of what kind of appropriate locks are used. We have a challenge sometimes with people coming onto our campus with pliers and giant bolt cutters and taking away students' bicycles with the thin rope locks. So we're educating on what locks are appropriate. And also digging a little bit into how riding a bicycle to campus or using that for your transportation is better for the world and the earth and them personally. And we had many people who were interested in looking at our booth, and we asked, hey, do you have a bicycle on campus? Because we were raffling off a lock. And all of them, with the exception of one, said no. And so now we get to work on the other side of how can we enhance adoption of alternate methods to campus. And some of it has to do with our students living too far away for bicycles to be an option to transport to campus because we are in a dense and expensive area. And students come from all over the area. So we are working on some of that. And if you have any thoughts, feedback, or ideas for us to enhance our bicycle usage, I would love to hear it. Or we can move on. Sweet.
We have a e-bike voucher program at the city of Tampa that's currently open and closes April 14th. So I put the link in the chat if anyone is interested and is a city of Tampa resident that you wanted to pass along.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I will take a look at that. Larissa, yes.
Thank you. So not a solution, but an idea, in the hopes that we can perhaps think of solutions. One of the things that we've talked about on our campus is having more public transportation that would allow the use of bikes, for example, from the campuses that are close to each other, Dale Mabry, HCC, Ybor, as well as Brandon. They're relatively close to each other with some public transportation in between. So to the extent that there would be the possibility of working with our public transportation locally to figure out if there were express routes or things like that that students could use in conjunction with a bike, that would be something that we would really support.
That's a great idea. Yeah, it's those like or the beginning of route pieces that are kind of really important there. Yes, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know how the public transit is here in Tampa because I don't live here, but where I come from, originally Miami, all the buses had a bike rack on the front of them, and people could load their bikes right there on the front of the bus and carry it to a certain area of town and get back off and finish riding their bikes. I don't know if Tampa has something like that or what. My little town I live in now,
We do.
Brooksville, even their little buses in Brooksville have a bike rack that'll hold at least 3 bikes.
And we have a bus stop right outside of one of our main areas of campus. So if we can get students to adopt that would be a great way to kick that off.
And you can always reach out to Julie Bond. You know, she handles a lot of biking issues and organizations throughout the whole district. So I mean, Julie, I know she's probably chomping at the bit, to try to say something, and she can't today. So,
It's okay.
but
I
you
will
guys,
follow up with her.
yeah, Julie's a good resource to come up with bike solutions.
Right. Yes, and she's the one who initially put me onto the designation. So she has graciously taken a lot of my emails. We will continue to do that. Perfect. Any other?
Maybe Julie can put her contact information here for the people that don't have it, since she can't talk.
Other bicycle pedestrian activity thoughts that we've got going on? Okay. Did we want to browse the fatal crash maps since we've kind of had the narrative, or would we like to move on?
Lori, do you want to give us an update on the crash maps?
Yes, so right now there is a 60-day lag in the data from the Senate bill, which took effect on March 1st. So since next month we have the mega CTST meeting, in June we will have updated maps for you guys, but it'll be 60 days behind. So from here on out, the maps are going to be 60 days behind. So we don't have a map for this month because of the bill.
Awesome, thank you.
And I think Corporal White did a good job on narrative on the whole area.
Yes.
So
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time getting crash data or up-to-date crash data. You just won't have access to it anymore. And you can thank the lawyers for that, because they were doing a bunch of dumps and basically cold calling people for business and all that stuff. That's where the 60-day rule, it's always been there, but it's never been enforced. But you're not going to be able to get any of that data outside of 60 days. I mean, fortunately, you have me. I'll give it to you every month, but you won't be able to get it from the state.
Thank you for that. I was not paying attention clearly when we talked about this before, that there was going to be a delay. So grateful to have it on both ends. Now open forum announcements, we've teased that big meeting, of course, and that's at the bottom of the agenda. It's, I think, May 10th. It's an all-day affair and all the CTSTs will be there, but other thoughts, forums, announcements? And I did see the invite go out, so if you haven't registered, please do.
Yeah, Susan, you got any, Susan's been spearheading this program for me. So Susan, is there any further updates since you've been out of town for a couple of days? You probably ain't caught up yet.
No, I'm sucking wind today, to be honest with you, but I saw that the registration went, and it's going to be a really good meeting. So I just encourage you to spread the word and get the troops there. So
very good.
If you didn't receive the email and you would like to receive the registration email, you can put your information in the chat and we'll get it over to you. Or you can email myself or Andrea or Susan, obviously.
It is important to RSVP this if you're going to be there, because space, it's bigger than what we had last year, but space could run out on us, and we won't be able to accommodate everybody. That plus we need to make sure we have enough lunch for everybody.
Susan, the other thing that was brought up yesterday, and Mike blew us off, is we were very adamant about what kind of breakfast is going to be there. He was very non-answering on that, so we'd like answers to that.
Well, what is your request?
Oh, just because I'm a cop doesn't mean I want donuts, but I wouldn't cry about it. But, you know, some bagels,
Well, I didn't want to
coffee.
stereotype you, Mike. I wasn't going to stereotype you, but you know, but I'll take care of you. How's that for an answer?
That works.
Okay.
Him and one other person mentioned coffee would be nice.
Oh, we'll have coffee. Coffee for sure.
But then you have to do beignets and pastries if no donuts, you know, something, right?
Oh my gosh. See, everybody has their own opinion, but I'll teach you. I promise you won't starve, okay?
And it won't taste like mama's. George, I know you're chomping at the bit to make an announcement. Go ahead.
Yes, so we have the kickoff, the enhanced law enforcement engagement, starting the 19th and 20th for our law enforcement agencies to meet, and we'll be kicking the program off thereafter. We've certainly added some additional law enforcement equipment. We've added some different progress to the program to help agencies where they're struggling with staffing to still accomplish that on our state roadways. So it's basically enforcement on state roadways, and they're awarded points, and the points are used for traffic safety equipment to better improve their abilities to continue to address traffic enforcement in the Tampa Bay area. And a lot of that equipment is essential to a lot of agencies because they don't have the budgets to purchase it. So we're fortunate that the Department of Transportation has furnished some state funds to get that equipment out to these law enforcement agencies. And everyone is excited, right, Mike, to get started with this once again.
Yeah, we might
show
even
me the money. Give me the equipment.
Yeah, we might even encourage Charles to stick around and see the end of the program.
I have my doubts if Charlie's really going to make it on the third time. I think maybe he'll make it on the fourth. So I would save a spot at our table for Mike or for Charlie. He's got no comment.
Other
announcements? I think he already retired.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I will be retiring this year. I do promise you that. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop supporting my traffic safety advocates up here in this part of Florida. I will probably continue on part-time with the law enforcement liaison program, although Peter seems to think he could pay me more and become a part-timer for the district, but we'll see how that works out.
I have a quick thank you for everyone. We had, as many of you know, we had our walk last Friday at USF. Many of you were there, and we very much appreciate all the support that we got at MAD. had a very successful walk. Lots, bringing our numbers back up after COVID, which was great. And really working on trying to get the university student involvement, which we're getting more and more from USF. So we really appreciate that. Lots of law enforcement partners there. Some of them are here. So thank you, Julie. I see that you were there. A lot of the faces here I saw there. So we're really grateful, as always, for your support. And thank you for that. So I just wanted to put that out there. And you guys always crack me up at this meeting. I love watching everyone's face laughing. We're all muted and just laughing. So thank you for that. It makes the afternoon more fun.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other thoughts, comments, announcements, things you're doing well, brag moments? Okay. Hearing none, I think that wraps us up for the day, which is super cool. Thank you all for attending and bringing all of your fantastic information. We really appreciate it. We will see most of you. I will not see you, but other people will see you in May for the big meeting, and then we'll reconvene again in June on Teams.
Katie, is anybody going to attend from University of Tampa?
I am tapping some people to attend, and they don't know it yet, but they will be voluntold.
Very good. Appreciate it. And it's going to be good because last year was the first time we did it, and it turned out to be a huge success, and that's why we expanded it this year, a bigger place, a few extra hours. So it's going to be good. I know Susan and the rest of the team is working hard to put together a good program, and it's shaping up to be a real nice program.
Really excited.
Thank you.
Alrighty, happy Wednesday. Go forth. Have a great day.
You too.
See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Thank you.